On this episode, we talk about World of Warcraft, The War Within, Star Wars Outlaws.
And you'll find out how to win my hot juice in the Discord.
That's grosser than the Star Wars chicks.
5, 4, 3, 2, live from Dubuque, Iowa.
Why Dubuque, Iowa all the time, John? Those don't sound like very
used to
Star
go there as a
Warsy
kid.
locations. Those aren't very wowy locations.
Dubuque is just outside Tatooine. It's right there.
Of course. So welcome to episode 869 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast. Of course, we're here with a big show. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison.
And I, of course, am your John Jacobson. And joining us is Krell, who's been on before.
He's our two-time mod of the year in our Discord, but he's a WoW player, so I needed somebody on tonight to review WoW with me. We're going to do a roundtable, and Krell, you also played Star Wars Outlaws. You're going to talk about that with John. So what's up?
Yep. That's just nothing much, really. Just
it feels
out,
weird to be on
fun.
this side of the microphone.
Yeah, I'm always in the chat room. This isn't where I'm supposed to be. I'm sitting in Matt's seat. It's weird.
Yeah, Matt's seat's dirty. He found it on the side of the road.
He's got junk under the table here. It's a mess.
It is.
Yeah,
it smells,
there's like Birkenstocks next to the chair there and some patchouli oil.
That's weed. Don't eat that brownie. So yeah, big games to talk about tonight. Like I said, a roundtable review, Star Wars Outlaws. I'm really curious about that because I'm undecided if I want to play this game yet. And I know next week Matt's going to talk about it.
I have some thoughts about that game for sure. So
Good.
I can't actually wait till we talk about Star Wars.
Good. I'm excited. Really, I am. Because I know, Perel, you were really looking forward to this game too. You kind of thought it looked cool. So I want to get your guys' honest impressions with that coming up today. Also, we have 2 giveaways going on right now in our Discord. We are giving away hot sauce, VGO hot sauce.
No.
Oh, sorry, hot juice. And one of our listeners, Dan, he wants us to call it John's Hot Juice because if you're a BDE in our Discord, you get a bottle free. But we're also giving one away to listeners, just anybody. So if you want to win a bottle of John's Hot Juice, come to our Discord and enter by checking the pins. And it's hot sauce.
It's dripping. Let me tell you guys,
yes.
it is dripping. Like there's so much juice in there.
Not hot juice. Hot
I
juice.
told you, Michelle.
We're not talking about Gal Gadot here. All right, it's not talking about Gal Gadot.
No,
we're talking
the
about
Nintendo
John's
juice
hot
has
juice.
been a joke here for a while.
Yes,
but it does have a Steam Deck on the bottle, so I guess it's Steam Deck juice.
That's
Whatever.
Right.
It's all.
So if you want to put John's hot juice all over your meat,
all over your body, like
yes,
I
just
want,
rub it.
Like,
we want if you win, we want a photo
but it is
of you just
pepper.
rubbing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. If you have like
you
open
don't want
wounds.
photos.
What?
Yeah,
you don't want the photos.
No.
Come on,
and
just
don't do that either, because that would burn.
Yacker says, I joined in John's hot juice is the first thing I heard. That's perfect. Right. You're in the right place.
It's dripping. So what do they do, Michelle? How do they
got to go into our Discord on videogameoutsiders.com. They got to hit those pins, and we have 2 giveaways going on right now. One for the hot juice, and also we are giving away World of Warcraft, The War Within. Now, it's the expansion, but if you get this, you can play everything, every past expansion, WoW Classic, all of it. And let me tell you guys, there are not a lot of WoW players in our Discord. So if you're listening and you play WoW and you haven't wanted to in a while but want to check in, you should come down because you could probably win this. Like, nobody really plays WoW on our Discord, Krell. It's kind of just you and me and a few other people.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
We are giving away a copy of World of Warcraft.
With the expansion, that's all you need?
Yeah.
Or you got to subscribe?
Well, yeah, you do. But there's like trials usually like going on if you've never done it before, if you're a returning player. So it's pretty cool though, because we're going to do a round table tonight. I know we probably all have mixed thoughts about it, but there's still some people out there who've never tried and kind of want to get in. And it's nice now that they give you all the past expansions if you get the latest one.
I think everyone should play WoW at some point, just so it's part of your lexicon,
Yeah.
Like, you should. You really should.
You should check
just
it out.
try it. And they do free, like Michelle said.
You got to try Fortnite too. It's important. You have to play all the huge games that have been around for like almost 20 years at this point. So yeah, we're giving away World of Warcraft, The War Within, which we'll be talking about tonight. We are giving away John's Hot Juice in our Discord, and that's on videogameoutsiders.com. You can also come say hi to Krell if you like him. He's a mod, and he's pretty strict. He'll yell at you. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we are live right now on videogameoutsiders.com. We do it every Tuesday, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. If you miss it, you go listen anywhere podcasts are. A good place, John, is that app because you just did a John show that you put up there. We do micro VGO. So some shows are free, some are premium. Game Store guys got shows, and they get the whole back catalog of VGO if they support us. And how do they do that?
That's right. Go to our website, videogameoutsiders.com. You can use Chrome, Mozilla. We support Edge.
Yep, Safari.
Yes. And there's a red premium button. Go ahead and click it and go premium. It's $1.99 a month. Once you're a premium club member, you unlock our entire back catalog of almost 20 years. And like Michelle said, you get all the bonus stuff we do every week. We don't just do this regularly scheduled Tuesday show. We do Micro VGO, John Show, PC Outsiders. It's all on that app. It all happens every single week while you guys are sleeping. Stuff's like going on there. Right, Michelle?
Sure. It just takes you a really long time to say go to our website and click the red button. I tuned out. So
go to videogameoutsiders.com. Go premium. Also, grab our app. It's totally free. Search for Video Game Outsiders on iOS or Android. Install the app. You can listen to these shows on there.
Install the app. You give the most worthless excess instructions. I don't
use your
like
finger. What?
It's like John. If we each design tutorials and games, John's would be press shift to run. Press space to jump, and mine's just like get in there and shoot
every ledge that you can climb on would be yellow or orange.
So Zabumuza in the chat says, I've never played Fortnite or WoW. Well, you can go enter and win a copy of WoW and try it for the first time in your life in our Discord. So head on down to that on Video Game Outsiders.
And then also
voicemail too tonight.
Any time during the week, you guys can send us voicemail. It can be a question, comment, whatever. Just pick up your phone and dial 520-FEEL-VGO. 520-FEEL-VGO. Tiger?
John, you insensitive fuck, complaining about playing games at the beach when Michelle's in a wheelchair? God.
Yeah. What's up with that?
I know.
You should see how good you have it in life. I have no legs, but I have feet. It's weird. I have feet just attached to like my sockets.
You're like Rain Man.
Yeah.
Or
Rain Man. What are you talking about?
Rayman.
Oh, Rayman. I thought you were talking about like Dustin Hoffman.
You're Dustin Hoffman.
24 matches.
Are you Vern Troyer?
No, Rayman. He's got no...
Hans in the chat doesn't know the old joke. No, I'm not actually in a wheelchair, Hans. Just Ted believes that I have no legs. So we should... Only old timers remember my old wheelchair joke. Yes. So I actually do have legs. But a lot of the characters in WoW don't. They don't have limbs. They don't have eyes. We'll probably talk about that in a bit. So yeah, really big show. Let's just jump right into it. So I want to talk
Michelle,
about it.
I'm excited to hear. Go.
Okay.
How are we doing this?
Right,
are we going to do WoW?
When we have to talk about it, you know how I am. I get all wound up and I just talk too fast and too much. And people are like, Michelle, I put the show on 2.5 speed, but I can't listen to you and everybody else is fine. So I need to slow down. What are we going to do? Yeah.
Are we going to do WoW at the end?
Let's do a WoW roundtable. So I'll bring up some games. You bring up Star Wars. Krell will jump in. And then when Krell does his, we'll jump in. We'll do a full World of Warcraft roundtable in a bit. Instead of doing like a Warcraft Outsiders, we'll just do it on the show with a roundtable. All right. So I played a game called Tactical Breach Wizards. I saw some hype about it. People saying if you like XCOM, if you like Into the Breach, it's probably like one of the best turn-based games we've had in a while. I really think Matt would like this game too. There's a free demo on Steam. But anyway, it is a turn-based game where every room is a puzzle. And you have to use this team of kind of crazy characters that are like part Rainbow Six tactical breach dudes and like part wizard abilities. And there's like this interesting story and dialogue going on, but you can zoom all the way out and see like the whole map and spin it around, or you can get all the way down and see each individual room. And I've been going through like the long tutorial right now and just like learning the game. There's actually a lot going on here and people really like this game. I've been seeing a lot of people on my Steam friends list recommending it, saying this is great, possibly my game of the year. So even though I don't normally play tons of things like this, like I kind of liked XCOM and Into the Breach, but they weren't like my thing. I did want to check this out because I saw multiple people on my friends list going, this is my game of the year. So yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Now, how's it compare to Mario vs. Rabbids?
I don't know. Thank you for the sub, Badger. I'm not so sure about that. I would say that I have played some Final Fantasy Tactics type games, including sort of Convaleria. And while I like those, this is way more like the whole room is a puzzle. So what you can do is you can actually see what move is coming next. It's called like, I forget how they termed it. It's like you can foresee the future.
Foreshadowing?
So, yes.
Intuition.
There's a term that they use, though.
ESP.
Yeah. Foresee. It's I think they just call it foresee, and then you can rewind to go back. So you can tell right away, I'm going to fail. So they'll say like, you have 2 moves now to knock out all 3 people and get out the door. So you have to keep trying these different things. And I have to say, there is something very satisfying when you figure out where to position everybody. So you can hit that button and you just send like 3 dudes out the fucking window on the boat. Right. So it has this trial and error thing going on, which I like, at least right now. And there are difficulty levels. I kept it on normal. You probably don't get to do that as much if you have it on hard. And so if you are really good at these games, I probably don't recommend doing this on normal or easy. But the way I'm playing is I'm enjoying this sort of like, okay, because they're giving me a lot of chances to just see what happens, go back, rewind, do it again. And that's what I really like about it. So I kind of think I'm going to play more.
I have to say, the art style, the more I look at it, the more I kind of like it.
At first I was like, ew, this looks rough. But
exactly. It's like
really
a cell
fits.
shading. It's kind of works in some weird way.
It works with the quirky characters and dialogue and story.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, this is very Matt Bradford. He's a huge XCOM fan. I think Matt should try this. So I was actually impressed with this because not typically something I would play tons of, but I do love like the little.
And it is all turn-based. It's not like Hotline Miami or something, right?
Yeah, but you're kind of going through. You can path your moves before you do them, so you're doing a lot of planning. I mean, it's tactical. It's just well done. So I really like it. I think it's about $15-$16 on Steam. I don't know if it's elsewhere, but it's cheap. It's fun. Yacker picked it up too. He said he's going to try it. It's getting a little bit of attention. People are saying this is actually really well done. There's like at least 40 hours of gameplay.
It reminds me of the James Bond Cypher 007 game on the Apple TV.
I don't think I played that. No, I didn't. No, I don't know what that is.
It's on Apple Arcade.
Check out Tactical Breach Wizards.
I guess
like
that's more
XCOM
just a stealth.
or Into the Breach.
How much
Is that beach mode ready? That's the big question.
No, the brightness level on it, I'd say, is a mid-tone, John. You can tell by looking at it, right? Would that work for your beach games?
No, I think about 80 to 100% cyan is ideal.
Okay.
Lots of sky games are good, like beachy,
especially snowy levels.
Snowy levels would be like a snowboarding game would be ideal at the beach. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Dungeon crawlers not good.
Pearl, why'd you have to say that? We should leave John the beach score for his reviews.
It's important that the fans want to know.
No, nobody is playing Tactical Breach Wizards at the beach but John.
How do you know? But the thing is,
okay, if you're playing
maybe
right now,
someone's
the beach,
wondering right now, like
this game sounds good and all, but can I play this at the beach? No, It's not Tactical Beach Wizards. It's Tactical Breach Wizards. Okay, get that out of your head. Now, here's a game, John, I think you played a little bit of, but not much. Krell, I don't think you've played. It's called Deadlock. Okay, I can finally talk about it.
Yes.
Even though I've been playing for a bit. This was Valve's sort of thing that went down with The Verge, where they sort of broke the gentlemanly agreement of don't be a dick, and they started writing about the game, sharing screenshots, and got banned. So if you guys remember that, and we don't often get new games from Valve, and this is a game that has been created by the guy who did Dota, Dope Frog, or what's his name? Is it Dope Frog or something Frog? And also the guy who did Team Fortress. So there's some quote pedigree behind this. These are Valve guys who've made Valve games. And so a lot of people were paying attention to this. Now, here's the thing with Deadlock. It is a MOBA. It is a third person MOBA, which I do like. But it is sort of mixed with being an actual shooter. Okay. The problem is a lot of people are playing this, especially the new crop of people that just came in, are playing it like it's Overwatch. Okay. And it is not Overwatch. Now, there is a sort of caveat to that because you do sort of, it does sort of turn into Overwatch in the last like 10 minutes of the game. So you sort of, farm like it's Dota, but fight like it's Overwatch in the last 5 minutes. So you farm so you can fight, basically. Because it's a MOBA, okay? So there are creeps, there are towers, there are lanes, there are last hits. And the cool twist on this is you can deny enemies by stealing their money from kills by shooting the orbs that fly in the air. John, you probably saw that, right?
I did, yeah.
Yes.
The different color orbs.
Yes. So basically you can steal from the enemy
orbs.
And that's all done with shooting and aiming and all that stuff. So you have all the different sort of characters and classes you would expect, and there are support and there's
a store in the back that you. Yeah.
Yes. There you go back to the store, you buy items. The cool thing about this, though, not as overwhelming as Dota 2. There are already sort of community builds that you can load in the game, which I think is a really, really cool feature. So you can just have like a community build that you load in that will follow, and they all get voted up. So I think that's going to be a really good system.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Wait, go back on that.
So basically in a MOBA, it's all about your build, and they get pretty complicated, especially in Dota. So in this, they have community builds that you can check out. You can do like a default one. But you can also check out what's trending on community builds. So people can put in builds and then people vote them up and down. So you can sort of load in one of those and be like, all right, I want to play this character, but I want to be more, I want to be support with it, and I want to do this or that, and I want to be around a tanky build. Like, you're going to load in all these builds, whatever gets uploaded for the character, whatever's meta, or whatever's working, or whatever's countering what's going on, you can load that build in and it'll buy the items and all that stuff for you because it's all about the items. It's a MOBA. And so people don't really get that. Some of the people, if you're playing against them, you're just like stomping them and you're like, they're just all getting out there. They're rushing down one lane and they're shooting before they farm. They don't understand like the tower thing. So some people right now, the new crop of people that have come in just seem to think it's like, they don't really get what's going on.
But I did the tutorial and that's very in depth what they did there with that tutorial. All those different like little quest mission things.
Yep.
So I mean, doesn't that explain everything that you're talking about, or is it? Are people just skipping that?
People don't really get that. I think that they're sort of, because you get in there and it's just like your natural inclination is to like just run and start shooting people, but you have to build out your character. You have to figure out what you're doing with the different lanes and positioning, and people are just going all over the place. So there's this big like rail line, zip line in the sky that lets you get places fast. Of course, there's the portals. Like in every MOBA, you have a portal, a way to get across the map. But in this game, they have these big zip lines going across every lane and you can hop between them. So it's pretty easy to get, like the mobility in this game is off the charts. A lot of verticality, a lot of mobility. You're jumping around, you're flying around. Like it has a lot of speed to it, which I think is fun. So a lot of my friends that I play games with are Dota 2 players. Half of them love this game and half of them are kind of meh on it. But it seems
okay,
to be...
this is, all right, I was going to ask this question because I definitely don't know if I like this game. I'm more, you know what
I don't think it's for you.
No, you know what shooters I like. Like this is not like
too much of a thinking game when it comes to a shooter. You just want to get there and shoot shit.
Yeah, no, I like shooters with depth and upgrades and parts and guns and like that kind of shit. But
this is a different sort of depth. And
I know,
like depth too. I like Rainbow Six Siege.
The question
but the depth
I have
here
though,
and the skill cap and the skill ceiling is going to be way beyond anything you like.
I understand, but the question I have: does this go into the Concord pile?
Oh no, it's already.
You think it's automatically that this is a keeper for the rest of our lives?
It already had like 30,000 concurrent players.
I understand. There's a lot of games that start out that way, and then they have 400.
But Concord didn't. Later. They started out at peak of 600. So no, there's not a lot of games like that.
Yeah, I'm just curious because there's a lot of games like this that kind of come out. So.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to go that route. I think right now it's still very early. They've just acknowledged the game for the first time. They tell you when you load it up, the art is placeholder. Everything is placeholder. Just let us test this. Let us build this. Yeah. So that's what they're doing. Like, it's not even in the state that I think it's going to be in whenever it comes out in a year or two, or maybe it's 4.
I kind of like the art. I kind of like the map though. Like that environment.
I do, but I think they're obviously a lot of them are placeholder textures and they're just kind of fooling around with stuff. And the game is Deadlock, incredible games. So
if you're just joining us, we're talking about Deadlock by Valve.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. So no, I don't think this is going to go the way of Concord because it already had like, I don't know what's the peak now. When I last saw it was, tens of thousands of people and it hadn't even been talked about yet, And so now it's just
there's some genius marketing behind that potentially.
I don't know. I think if you trace back to the original leak, it leaked in a private Discord. And then at that point they just said, fuck it. Somebody was streaming it and then somebody saw it. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said,
90,000 players, by the way.
Yeah, 90,000 players. That doesn't seem like 600 in Concord, John. So no, I think this is like...
Well, that weekend I played Concord, like that, there was more than 600 though. But those
that's their peak.
No, I'm saying the beta, that I played. That probably, but Concord $40. No one wants to pay for that shit.
Even if it was free, nobody's playing that game. It's absolute shit.
It is shit, but it should have been free to start with. Is this going to be free? You think?
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be free. Of course, it's gonna be monetized the way they do Dota, probably with just skins. So it's not going to be any pay to win type shit. I mean, I have some friends that are Dota 2 players that have been playing this nonstop since I got them into it. Nonstop, 24/7. They love it. Other people are like, shit, no, I'd rather play Dota. So I think it's going to appeal to the Dota crowd. It's going to appeal to the MOBA crowd. For me, third person MOBAs, I still kind of like Paragon better. That never hit though. Went away. Then we got the carbon copies. But this is something I'm probably going to play a little bit of. The depth here is going to go way more into somebody who likes Dota. I think it's going to fall a little bit under that, but I think they're building another game with a lot of depth, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They know the Steam market. That's what a lot of people are playing, and you feel a little bit of the Team Fortress in it when you play. You feel a little bit of the Dota in it when you play, and you can it feels like a Valve game in some way. So what it is right now, John, I think it's like taking on its shape of what it's going to become. It's evolving with these 90,000 people who are playing right now. And there's going to be more soon. I mean, it's just a lot of people are still trying to invite their friends. So if you get in And I just invited somebody from our subs in our Discord who supports us. You can invite your friends if you get in. So that's sort of how it works, John. It's like spreading with that viral.
No, I know.
Sort of.
I love that. I think it's genius.
Yes.
I think every game should do that. Like, I think
Right.
it's so smart. And if it is a marketing ploy, whatever, I love it. Like, I think it's really cool. Like, I want every game to do that.
It's interesting because you know, like nobody's Smite 2 alpha just started, like open alpha, beta, whatever. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's really going to be playing that. The numbers on this are already impressive for how bad of a state the game really is in, because it was supposed to be this small team of people testing it, and then it just kind of got out of hand. So I am very curious to see where Deadlock goes. Look, I played and had fun. I do like a lot of what it's doing, and there's some stuff I want to see refined, but I think it's actually already just kind of addicting and good. Now, I'm not a playing 24/7 player like some of my friends are, but I do think this Deadlock is going to be fun, and just don't play it like Overwatch. All right. So then just
By
really
the way,
quickly,
just going back to Concord, because I just looked it up real quick. So 2,300 players during the beta. And then but when the game actually launched, they never had more than 700.
Right, but you said, I played Concord beta, and there were a lot of people too. 2,300
Well,
is not a lot of people.
Well, that's why I just looked it up. That's why I just looked it up. I wanted to see.
But like, Deadlock has 90,000 and growing. So I don't, even the bit. Nobody wants to play Concord.
I hate Concord. That game's shit. So I'm not
nobody wants to
defending
play
it.
a trash can.
But I'm worried that we're in this cycle of releasing these free to play shooter games that just come and go.
This is the guys who did Dota and Team Fortress.
I know.
They're
Valve is totally different. I understand.
I mean, it's not. They're going to make it
to
fun.
The choir, Michelle.
They're going to make the game. I think they're going to make the game that their player base wants. Now, it might not be the game you want, John, but I think they're going to do something that works.
No, the game that I
base.
want, they make already. It's called Counter-Strike. And then I
you don't really play Counter-Strike.
I did. I cut my teeth.
Yeah, but that was 20 years ago. You don't play Counter-Strike now. I mean,
I know.
Look, this is the thing. I mean, a lot of my friends are Counter-Strike Dota players, and they love it. I think if you like both those games right now currently, you're going to love this game. So check out Deadlock. Okay, moving on really quickly. I have been playing a bit more Wukong. I've been playing a lot with my sister as well. We got stuck on a tiger boss. Like every boss we see is just badass. Krell, I know you didn't play it. You want to play. I recommend everybody checks out Wukong if you can at some point. John, I know you played a bit. I'm curious how it ran on the Steam Deck, because you did turn it on and test it.
I did. I played a little on my Steam Deck, and it actually... okay, so it wouldn't work initially, okay? And I just wouldn't boot at all. And I tried over and over again. I updated my Steam Deck. I changed the Proton to Proton Experimental. I restarted. I updated. I don't know what thing fixed it, but eventually it ran, okay? And it was after a restart that it finally worked, okay? So if it doesn't work initially, don't give up. There's a lot of Reddit threads. Everyone was saying to change the Proton to Experimental, but I don't even know if that fixed it. So, all right. I was shocked at how well it ran.
If this game with Unreal 5 can go 50 to 60 on the Steam Deck, how are they saying Avowed is 30 FPS on the next gen consoles? It shows you that this is a developer problem. It is not a hardware problem.
Yeah, it's like it would hit 50, it would hit 40, it would be around 30.
But this
it was
is one
never,
of the best looking games I've ever played.
It was
so the
never
fact that it can do that,
dipping to like 5 or 10. It was totally playable the entire time. What I did, So yeah, I was completely shocked by that. So. Is Unreal 5 just a badass engine? Is that what's going on here?
I mean, it is, but it's the developers working with it too. And John, I want to ask you a question about this, because you told me you love the game, you're dreaming of the combat, but you have not really played. I want your honest opinion on why, or if you like the game or not.
I haven't had time. I literally haven't had time. I played it on Wednesday, and then Thursday WoW came out, and then the weekend.
Okay. So do you think you want to play it more? Do you actually like the game? Okay.
No, I do like the game, 100%. It's just, for me, it's solely a time function. So,
So would you recommend this game deck mode then? Does it work?
I didn't play the intro on the Steam Deck. I think that intro would have brought the thing to its knees. Right? Because that intro in that game is fucking off the charts. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
especially on Max.
In the forest where I am now, walking around.
You think it's doable?
It's totally playable.
That's impressive then. That is, because I thought you might say, it's too choppy and you probably can't. Because
it wasn't. I mean, it's not like my PC, but I played Cyberpunk on the Steam Deck like 30 FPS, and it was fine.
Okay. Yacker says Steam Deck will get DLSS 3 soon, and it'll give it a 20 FPS bump. So that's good news. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wukong as well, great game. But yeah, much like you, John, I got taken in by WoW when it came out. We're going to talk about that in a bit, but I want to get into Star Wars with you guys, so I'm going to cut myself off here, and I am just drinking True lemon and lime in water. I combined one of each packet, and I kind of like it. It's kind of like
dangerous. You
it's
open a
kind of
rift?
like Sprite. I am about to open a rift. It's kind of like Sprite without the crap. Yeah. People say you can pour in a little bit of seltzer, but I hate seltzer water. You've probably done that though, John. Just like
I put that in like just plain seltzer. Sure.
Yep.
It's good.
All right. Well, let's get into what you guys have done, John.
I want to talk about a shooter that I discovered. I've been watching these dead game videos.
Okay.
There's this guy named Rye
We
Games
talked
or
about
something.
this.
I know, but like I keep watching the videos because he's exposed me to a lot of shooters that are buried in Steam that I didn't know were there. And a lot of them are actually very active, but they're just not in the forefront. And there's a game called Operation Harsh Doorstop, which has the worst fucking name in the world.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
So
Is that
it's
your
made
nickname
by
in high school?
It's made by ex-developers that did Squad, Red Orchestra, and Insurgency, like Sandstorm, whatever. So there's some pedigree behind this, Michelle.
Yeah, I know. You love that word, so I tried to
But
use
here's
it.
the thing. This is a free-to-play tactical sandbox shooter. And it's got a huge community behind it, tons of mods, tons of maps. It's a giant open-world fucking shooter game. Like, it's crazy. It's awesome. And like Matt McCarthy and I were playing, and they're doing like Ukraine versus Russia, by the way, on some of the maps.
Those are the only people playing this game. Everybody else is playing like a better game that's not dead.
What do you mean? What?
I don't know. Yeah, that's just what I said. That's what I mean.
No, this game isn't dead. This guy does videos on dead games, but some of them have active communities, but he just features them because
it's a dead game. He's featuring dead games. You can't say that.
Well, he has different videos. I don't know which video the title was in, but like whatever. This game is not dead.
Okay.
This game is in early access since last year. Okay, and it's free to play. It's community funded. There's tons of community support behind it. There's mods. There's vehicles. There's tanks. There's helicopters. But this game is not like Battlefield because it's more of a sim. It's really way more hardcore. The movement is so fucking slow. Just to drive a fucking vehicle is a nightmare. Like you get into a tank and you have to like shift gears and stuff, and it's bonkers. Like, and the helicopters are hard. Like everything's like it's more. They're going more for like a sim type thing. Very fast.
Like Arma.
Yeah, more like Arma, but it's kind of like Arma with like more structure, like a Battlefield type thing. I mean, I haven't played enough Arma to really have a strong opinion about Arma. I have Arma. And every time I've played it, I'm like, what do we do?
Can we give this game a better title?
Yeah.
Operation.
Carl, did you play a lot of Arma? Is that something I should really
Arma
stick
3.
with?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
It's not that good.
Okay.
I mean, I know a lot of people like it, but yeah, I didn't play it that much.
I bought the last one they released too that was supposed to be more like put together as a game,
Yeah.
And I couldn't get into that one either. So I don't know. Arma never connects with me for whatever reason. But listen, if you guys are craving just giant fucking maps, if you want to hide in a bell tower for a half hour, this is your game.
Okay.
You do that in Call of Duty anyway.
I know I do. But this is a game where, like, you can literally, like, I was on the rooftop of a church for like 20 minutes just patiently waiting for someone to come down that street, So, and the maps have verticality. There's all kinds of, environments and stuff. And again, like we were playing Russia versus Ukraine, so it's kind of grounded in all that kind of stuff. And then Delta Force, I'm still playing that. I can't get enough of that game. Delta Force is so good. That game's but going from like this doorstop game to Delta Force, you realize just how polished and just put together that fucking game is. That game's going to be fucking big, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And I did try Emio, the Smiling Man.
Yeah, what is this?
So it's from the Famicom Detective Club series, Michelle. Are you aware of this? So this is a series that came out like a long time ago. It came out in 1988, the first game, and it was for the Family Computer Disk System, which was basically an NES with a disc, right? And it is basically a graphic. It's a visual novel. It's a graphic novel, is what it is.
Okay.
And It's a lot of, so basically there's a murder going on. You're a detective, you're a PI, and someone is killing people. Or I was only on the first murder, and he's putting bags over their heads with a smiley face. like
you're laughing at that
because
it's supposed to be a scary horror game.
I know, but it's like it's just saying bag over their face. Like it's just like it's kind of dumb, honestly. Like he puts a bag over the head and draws like a pumpkin face on it.
That's very menacing.
and so you're fighting with the cops trying to get information, but I could tell it's all very linear. It's not like really a puzzle game. It's
not like Phoenix Wright or anything like that.
It's kind of more, it's in that vein for sure. I liked Phoenix Wright back in the day. I didn't really like this, to be honest. The game does come out like tomorrow, and but there's a decent sized demo right now. I mean, I don't know. It's not
like
for me.
Bags on heads. Look into it.
I don't know. I could tell like the artwork, looked really nice, and whoever drew it did a really good job. But I don't know. It's not for me. All right, let's talk about the fucking Star Wars. All right.
Yes.
So Star Wars Outlaws came out today. Let's get the girl out of the way.
Well, she's ugly and her hair's bad and her face looks like a munchkin or something. What did they make her look like?
Put a bag on that.
Yeah, put a bag on that, please. And the voice actress was really pretty. They did it on purpose.
And here's the thing. Her mom in the game, there's a flashback in the beginning.
Oh,
her mom's beautiful. Why didn't they should have just made her mom.
She's part Wookiee or something.
The mom, you should look what the mom looks like. I would rather had the mom be the character, because there's a flashback to when she's a kid and they show the mom. And but the mom's pretty. Like, what's going on here?
MILF Wars.
The mom hooked up with some guy with a broken face.
Ooh, I think she was fucking an alien.
So listen, I'm not trying to be superficial here at all. I'm really not.
No, but it's distractingly bad.
It's distracting, and it seems like a mistake. It really does. It seems like a cruel joke that someone. It's like some jokester at Ubisoft. Like, watch this, guys. I'm going to get this through, right? And they're all laughing. I'm telling you, they're going to let me get it through. We're going to get this through. I'm telling you, we're going to get this through. Oh, come on, Ted. No way.
There's a whole sea of people that are out there saying she's attractive too, because we did a promotion tweet tonight, and all these random people were like, I think she's pretty. And you click on the account and it's just bots who are all saying she's pretty. It's like Ubisoft hired a bot farm to say she's attractive. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. A character creator from 2010 could make a better character than this in 5 seconds,
Yeah.
So
it's bad, but
whatever.
I want to talk about how you guys did this, because it was $90 to play early, or you could do Uplay Premium Plus or whatever for $18, and you got the big edition. And you got to play early.
I did Uplay Plus Premium, which is $18 for the month. Krell, you did the same, right?
Yep, same thing.
And did you play on PC?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had every intention of playing it on my Xbox and my PC, and I should be able to, because there is cross progression.
Right.
And with $18, the Uplay Plus Premium, you get Xbox and PC with that. So that is something that Ubisoft is doing right, okay? Giving you both with cross progression. But what happened was but what you have to do is you have to manually upload the save from the Xbox to the cloud, and then manually pull it down on the PC. That is currently not working. Every time I go to upload to the cloud up from the Xbox, I get an error code that pops up, upload failed. I tried 30 times. So I only played it on the Xbox, which kind of bummed me out, because I really wanted to try it on the PC, but there was no way I was going to redo what I did on the Xbox down here. So I just played it.
Let's talk about what you were expecting, John. You were going in kind of.
I know we're gonna get into this. So so the one thing that surprised me, and I don't see a lot of games doing this, is the Force 21:9 aspect ratio.
Yeah, that was weird.
It is an option you can turn off, but if you play on a 16:9 TV, which they all are, it's letterboxed like a movie.
What game did that recently? And I was like, haha, 21:9 bitches.
I kind of liked it, to be honest. Did you like it, Krell?
I didn't at first, so I turned it off. I might go back to it just to see.
Yeah. Like on a 65-inch TV, it's fine. But if I had a 35-inch monitor, I would not want it. You know what I mean? Because like when you're far enough from the TV, you don't like when you're watching a movie and it's letterbox top and bottom, you don't really think about it, And I wasn't thinking about it, and then I realized, oh wait, this is an option that's on. Because I went into settings and I'm playing on performance mode. So visually, Carl, what do you think here? We're gonna do like a real
talk about your impressions though. What you
I know
thought.
this is it.
No,
this is what.
No, wait. I want to talk about what you thought going in though before you say that, because John, you were
I
kind
didn't
of
know.
You didn't know what to expect. Carl, weren't you actually looking forward to this game? Thinking it was cool.
Yeah,
right?
watching the videos from the Xbox presentation, I was thinking it was going to be some sort of mix of The Division with cover fire mixed in with Assassin's Creed stealth. Just a whole bunch of Ubisoft games combined.
Yeah, and that is what I thought too. Because I heard open world, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed and all that shit. Just because Ubisoft has a bag of tricks, right? And every fucking trick is in this game. Would you agree, Carl? Like,
yeah.
So, but visually though, I do want to ask, the game, like they're trying so hard, like to be badass, like Cyberpunk and shit. Did you think they kind of pulled it off, like in the big city, the first city you get to, and all that?
No.
Yeah,
not at all.
They didn't, right? It felt. I can't explain it.
Good.
I can't explain it, right? Like, so all right. So this is an open world game, Michelle. It's about a girl and her dog.
I like dogs.
It's not a dog though. It's some little cute creature, and I'm sure that when they came up with it, they said we're going to be making plush, and people are going to go crazy about this little creature like Baby Yoda.
Right.
And you could pet the animal. You could pet and all the animals in the cities. By the way,
Michelle.
Michelle.
Sad if you're telling me like you can pet the animal. And that's the thing that comes to your mind with Star Wars Outlaws.
No, I'm just setting this up. I'm just doing these are things I thought of when I was playing it. How like every game's got to have a pet function now. You know, so. And I know that they're trying to make this little creature she has like super cute. So the gameplay, a lot of it revolves around her little companion. And you could basically send them to distract enemies. You could send the creature to go like push buttons behind fences and places she can't get. And it's a big part of the game. You can also use them to attack and distract the enemies. And the game uses stealth a lot, which I don't like. Do you like it, Krell? All the stealth?
I like Assassin's Creed games, so that part was okay for me.
Okay, so you don't mind all the stealth. Okay.
How's the AI with the stealth? Because the AI with the shooting, they're looking at the wall. I've seen videos and people are getting shot in the butt.
I mean, the AI seems... like, the combat is kind of silly, like the melee combat with her, because she weighs like 105 pounds, and she's like punching these guys out with
and half of that's in her forehead.
So, all right. So the beginning of the game is very linear, and then it lets you loose into the world. It is a big, giant Red Dead Redemption type world.
That's cool.
With, with a massive. Is that? How far are you? I played for 2 hours. So are you past that first city? Is there another?
Actually, I played for 2 hours too. So
okay.
I think we're in the same spot.
Okay, so I'm sneaking into that base. I just got into that base, that Torek base, whatever
Yeah, that's where I was.
Okay. So it sounds like we played exactly the same amount. So Michelle, there is a ship that you can fly. You land on this planet. You have a speed bike. There's bandits in the desert, and you can outrun them or gun them down. There's a hub city. And then they start doing the faction stuff. Again, it's all the Far Cry shit.
Does this shit work anymore? I'm like over this.
It's like you have to get reputation with every faction, and like I started shutting down when I realized that this is every Far Cry. The stuff I did like a little bit was some of the platforming, some of the puzzles involving the little creature. She has a grappling hook, so I like some of that stuff because I tend to like that kind of stuff more than stealth, But I found the stealth to be so fucking annoying, and I most of the time just killed everybody. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I saw a comment last night. They said the pet is really just the phone from Watch Dogs. Remember how you could change things with the phone in Watch Dogs? Like, change the streetlights, change a thing, an alarm.
They reskinned a phone.
It's just the pet. Now you're just having a pet do that for you.
Because if you wanted to push a button to turn a fan off, you could just point him at it, right? Yeah. Or in Watch Dogs, you'd use your phone to hack it, right? It's like the same motion.
But why does she look like Eric Stoltz in Mask? Have we gotten to that? I'm just kidding.
No, but listen,
It's
I really mean this. I'm not trying to be superficial here. It feels like a mistake, and that's all I can think when I'm playing it.
The whole game feels like a mistake. Rolling Stone said it's the best Star Wars game ever created.
Well, listen, I'm telling you,
gave it a 2, and they said that it's bad. I'm kind of
I don't think it's a 2. I think it's a 7 or 6, or probably more like a 7. There's no doubt in my mind that there is a lot of horsepower behind this game.
It doesn't look like a game from 2015. I mean, Crowley said the graphics were depressing you.
It was like, don't feel bad about playing on Xbox because I had my settings on high and they looked like they were on low.
Yeah.
Even when I turned to ultra, they were still medium.
It didn't have that, like, oh my God, that Cyberpunk gave me. And I think they were trying to do that with the cities and the bars and the locations. But I do think that there's a lot of talent behind this game because this world is massive and detailed. You know, it really
Where's
is.
Where's the talent? I'm not seeing it.
Michelle,
I'm not hearing about it.
You can't wave a magic wand and do all that shit that's in that game.
Yeah, you can. It's called reskinning all the other Ubisoft games.
I understand.
Being a talented artist doesn't make it the game good. And their art isn't even blowing anybody away like Wukong's
I know,
art.
but
I'm gonna play
think
next week and talk about it with Matt. So
I think Matt is going to like Matt's going to like this game. Okay? I think he will.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I'm not dismissing it out of hand. I'm just saying I don't like stealth.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's weird because I do think that a lot of people will like it. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of flaws right now that maybe after a few patches they'll fix. Like I think the graphics are just a patch or two away from being okay.
Yeah,
there is some fun in it. I think it's just like not for us, maybe.
Right, but like the stealth and the combat so far, it did.
But are
feel
you guys
kind of
having
brainless.
fun? Why are we defending this game?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. That's the best way to put it.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
It's under that category of I don't hate it.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Is I don't hate it a 7?
Yeah, I would say about a 6 for me.
To me, a 7's good. To me, 7's good.
I said 6 or 7 initially. I think I'm pretty close to reality.
I don't know. I think you got to play more things and you'll see how shitty this is. That's what I think.
You haven't played
like
it,
Matt.
I mean, you're just piling on for no reason.
I'm gonna play it, but it looks generic. Like it looks like generic trash from 2015.
I know all Ubisoft stuff is okay. Like I don't like any of it. I mean, I'm not gonna like. I don't love this, but I don't.
You're
think
telling me to play a 6 game that you had quote a little bit of fun in. And I'd rather play Wukong that I'm having a lot of fun in that I think is like a 9. That's all. I'm just saying.
I haven't played Wukong, but I would even recommend Wukong over this.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, John,
like
there's a lot of games
it's totally different. It's a totally different game, though.
Of course, it's a totally different game, but one looks good and is fun. The other one looks bad and is a little bit of fun. Like you say, like, why would I want to spend all my time? And now, if I'm a hardcore Star Wars fan, maybe
if you're a hardcore Star Wars person and you like open world games, I think there's a lot here. There's for sure,
and there's a lot here with them trying to push you into their subservice because nobody's going to do that $90 pack to play early. But for $18, getting to play for a month, and also isn't Assassin's Creed this month too, or soon? Where you can also do it in the same month. If you saw
I don't know if that's this month. I thought that was later.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, that's an attractive deal, though. It's like a rental for $20.
Yeah. I'm not upset that I did it.
What I don't want is to play it and dislike it. And then Matt talks about it next week and he's positive. And people go, Michelle was so negative about it. And I really loved it. It's like, we're not allowed to have like different opinions. I'd rather Matt just comes on and is positive and gushes over it, and I don't even have to fucking touch this game because what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing from you guys,
you'll hate it.
Is you guys saying it's a 6 and I kind of had a little fun. Like that's going to make me want to play this game. Like, where are we? Why?
Star Wars fans will eat this up, but for a lot of people, it's just like,
listen. There's some production behind this, is what I'm trying to say. Like just with the music and
I'm not seeing
like,
it's the Star Wars brand, right? You've got the best music for any score for any movie, right? It's who doesn't like Star Wars?
No,
but outside of that, where's the fun? If I hate stealth,
it's an open world quest based game where you're fucking trying to make all the factions happy. So that's the Far Cry formula. That's the Ghost Recon Wildlands. Whatever. It's all that shit that Ubisoft likes to keep doing.
Yeah.
But with Star Wars over it, okay?
Yeah,
and an
pig
ugly
with a
girl.
Lipstick, still a pig. She looks more like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get the sense that you guys don't like it, but you feel like you have to defend it.
No, I don't dislike it. That's not true. I don't dislike it.
What do you
I wouldn't
dislike?
buy it.
I wouldn't buy it either.
Okay.
I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm perfectly happy with my rental. And you know what? I used to rent games all the time at Blockbuster, and I liked a lot of those too.
Then it doesn't sound
this
like
was
a
one of
good
those
game.
games.
It just
No,
doesn't
back
like
in
a
the
good
90s, you
game,
would
though.
rent a game. Yeah, and after the weekend, you were like, okay, I don't need to play that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of these
where I'm
games.
at with this. I'm like, and the thing is, I probably will play more of
So
this.
basically, because you
but
can
what-
rent it, you lower your expectations on what you expect from a good game, just
I'm
like the
saying
Game Pass
there's
model.
plenty of games at
Isn't this
Blockbuster I
supposed to be
rented
a
that never
AAA
bought.
fucking quality title from Ubisoft, one of the biggest companies,
Okay,
supposed to be
listen to
AAA,
me.
and you're saying
I don't care
it's
about
a
Star
6
Wars
and I hate
anymore.
it.
I don't give a fuck about Star Wars anymore. Okay, I don't. I only like George Lucas. That's it. Okay, so
right,
I don't
thanks
care
for
about Star
sharing.
Wars.
Right.
I am aware of and a little repulsed by Ubisoft's formulaic formula, and that's what this is. Okay, but I recognize that there's some talent behind it, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. And the gameplay
saying,
was
where's
kind of
the
fun
talent?
at
Where's the
times.
talent?
I
Can you
don't like the
demonstrate
stealth.
what
The
you like
combat
about
was
it?
kind of shit, but I like some of the puzzles and
That's what I'm
platforming. I like
there
some
we
of the
go.
puzzles and platforming.
There you go. You like puzzles and platforming. That's all.
and
Because you're saying
there
I
was-
hate the stealth, I hate the combat.
I like
hate
some of the I like some of the navigating around, trying to figure out how to get somewhere. You know, oh, there's a vent here. I didn't realize that initially.
Okay. This
You
is
know,
a great
so-
selling point.
Yeah.
Why are there bushes in the middle of an enemy base that I can sneak around in?
Well,
Makes
exactly.
no sense.
There's like welcome to Metal Gear and every other game that's done
Right,
that. So.
I don't know. I was
And
just
Michelle, you'll hate
confused,
you'll
that's
hate
all.
the division part of it because it's like they said they copied every game
Yeah.
that they make and put it into this.
My
It
concern
has
is I
that
play it
same-
and I review it and people cry. I almost kind of don't want to play it. Just keep quiet and let Matt review it because I'm
Yeah.
over like playing these sort of mid-tier shit games that I'm not allowed to even review anymore because people just go cry if you even like you're 6, like you guys giving it a 6. Remember what happened when I gave Zelda a 7? Okay, you guys just
yeah,
gave
the
this
hate.
game a 6. So I don't know. There's like a protective thing when games aren't like reviewed well, you know, especially a Star Wars fan. I don't even like, do I play this or not? Because I don't want to.
I don't know. It's up to you.
The people are bullet sponges like the division, so you'll
Yeah.
hate that.
Division.
I shot someone in the head 5 times. with
Okay,
a
let's be
blaster. They
clear
didn't have
though.
a helmet,
Let's be
and
clear.
they were
I
fine.
genuinely do like Division, and this is no Division.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. I agree. But it has
So-
that like same bullet sponge element
Yeah.
where you're not killing someone if you shoot them in the head.
I don't know. I'll look at it.
Yeah,
My
but
sister's
different.
getting
I mean,
it anyway,
Division was more like an MMO kind of in a way with the, you know, you're knocking down all the HP and stuff when you hit them and shit. Like this
This
just,
you don't even get a health bar. You're just shooting someone.
no, I
until
know.
they're
That's
dead.
what I'm saying.
You
Like
know,
Division felt like, yeah, it was bullet spongy, but that's because they were trying to do like an RPG type thing, you know, where it's like, you know, this character has level 200 health, this one has 300, you know.
Do you like
this
the story? Does it have like a good Star Wars
No.
story?
Okay, the story is this. The story is this. Okay, this girl is a fucking crook, and her mom was a
Oh.
crook too. Okay,
Yeah, fuck them.
So her mom was like a street thief, and she trained her
And she
to be a
banged an
street
ugly
thief.
dude who was half alien.
Right, and then she banged some guy with a broken face, and
Yeah.
here we are. Okay,
Here we are. Okay, so you don't like anything but the music and the platforming. Got it. You liked navigating to certain places. You're describing every open world game.
I like
all.
the vents. The vents were
The
good. The
vents
vent
were great.
system,
Great vent
the-
technology.
Yeah.
All right.
the
All right.
options menu was nice.
Yeah, the menu was decent in this.
Good.
You know, there is some crafting, there is some gear. So I don't know.
I think casual
well-
people are going to love it.
We'll talk
Casual
more
Star
about
Wars
it.
fans. I think that's a good win for them.
It's averaging a 78 right now, according to Metacritic.
Mm-hmm.
How you
User
like that?
score?
No.
Yeah, you can't look at journalists' score. Okay, you have to look at what the users are saying.
NME gave it 100. What is NME?
No
What is
men. Something.
Music, film, blah blah blah. All right, so that's it. And then I'm drinking a Coke
No user
Zero.
score.
Oh. So, Kraut, was there anything that you wanted to add to the Star Wars conversation?
I think we covered a lot of it. I mean, it seems like you and I share the same opinion. I think
Yeah.
Michelle will absolutely hate it, and Matt will probably like it.
Yeah.
I think there are people that will enjoy it. It's just
Yes.
it's not for us.
All right. It's a
Thank you
great
for the
rental,
sub,
though,
Sniper.
right?
Yes, Yeah, rent it at your local Blockbuster for the weekend.
I would kill just to have a fucking red box with games
Wait
in
a minute. O'Malley, our real games journalist guy, still does GameFly rentals. Why don't you do that?
I like. I looked. It's a ripoff, isn't it?
He doesn't think it's that bad.
I see. I liked the. I don't know. Well, obviously Blockbuster was the best, and I used to go there. I like going in, and I would try to time it on the release day. Because you want to get there when they're putting it on the shelf before someone else checks it out. So there's kind of an art form to that I enjoyed. What?
Okay, I'm sorry. You just described renting a game as an art form. I have to move on. Krell.
There was no, Krell, back me up. There was a bit of a science because you would eventually figure out, okay, so on release day, if you go before 2, it's not out yet. You got to go around 3 because they're waiting for UPS to come. Okay, so maybe 3 or 4. It's like that,
I just wanted to rent the game. I was like,
I just went there.
But the thing is, when we were doing the podcast in the beginning, I was renting games from Blockbuster all the time, and I always wanted to get the release date, games, and then return.
We had a local mom and pop one right across the street from Blockbuster, so I went there. It was like $2 for the weekend.
Yeah,
and they always got the latest stuff.
Yeah, and I used to
now
go to mom
libraries do it. I swear to God.
Oh,
People have been sharing library
yeah.
photos. Yacker, I know you did. Matt Wheaton has to go back in. You made him a bumper.
Yeah.
Like, check your local library for games. It's crazy, the pictures we've been seeing.
There's no reason. I mean, the red box thing's unfortunate, though, because the red boxes are still around. I see them all the time. But people were stealing the fucking games. they were making photocopies of the games and putting the paper discs in there.
So then just charge them.
I know, but they were using like gift cards. What do those pay as you go Visa?
Well, then they
gift
should
cards?
put a hold for 70 until you return the game. Then do it that way. You
I know.
Charge that, whatever. All right, Krell, what did you play?
All right, so I just have 2 quick things before we get into the WoW talk. Last month, I accomplished a gaming goal of mine, and that was that I finally beat Elden Ring.
Awesome.
I went from complete trash at the game. I couldn't even get out of the starting zone to somehow beating the game. So riding that high of watching videos, learning how to dodge. That was the big thing. Understanding the dodge, and then having a lot of help from the people in the Discord. They kind of gave me tips on items to go for and different builds to try, stuff like that. But it really just came down to understanding dodging and how to not get hit by things. Once I figured that out and got the timing, I just did so much better at the game and got through it. So riding that high of accomplishment, I was thinking, all right, I'm ready for the DLC. I heard it's extremely hard, but obviously I'm better. I beat the game. And then for the past month, I've been running my head into a brick wall and not getting anywhere in the DLC. So I definitely see how everyone's saying it's extremely hard. It's frustrating, but I don't know. I don't want to give up on it. I'm just kind of taking a break now because WoW's out and everything, but it's going to be one of those games that I'm just going to slowly chip away at and try to get better and better as I go. And hopefully in another 2 years, I'll beat this too, or whatever it takes. Hopefully not that long, but
it's
a lot
rush,
of fun.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no ruch.
Yeah.
So
I saw someone suing them, right? Because the game's too hard.
Oh my God.
That's ridiculous. even as much as I get frustrated with the game, I respect the game. I respect the difficulty. I respect the production that they put into it.
Well, that's what they're known for. I mean, that's kind of they invented the whole Souls everything. So
and if you mess up, sometimes it's your fault, right? You can see that I did this. It's not, and I can get better. I can beat it. Let me learn this pattern, or let me roll better. Like you saw the progress that you made the first time. You're going to see it again now with the expansion. Probably you're going to go through. Once you get better and beat a few bosses, you're going to go, I started off in a shit place and now I'm better. So you can see the progress. Yeah. You're getting better. The game never changes. People blaming them, I think, is stupid.
So here's the lawsuit. The lawsuit says, the lawsuit claims that we have only played half of From Software's games and a whole new game is hidden inside and it's too hard to access for even the most dedicated fans.
Oh my God.
No, I think the dedicated fans are getting through it. It's more of the people that are like me that are just now beating the base game. And
can't they summon a friend too, like Loke says in the chat?
No,
summon.
No.
You can't?
No, that's cheating. That's against the rules.
Whatever. The people that are crying that it's too hard can go cheat them. Shut the fuck up.
Wait. Are these artificial rules you created for yourself?
Yes. Yeah. There's like artificial rules in the community that you don't summon people because it's like, I mean, if you think about it, if you had someone come into your game and while you just stood there and they beat the last boss for you, would you feel like you beat the game?
But does it change the difficulty when someone comes and helps
can.
you?
Yeah, it scales. Yeah,
Okay.
But
it's
it's who you're
still
calling
the
in,
fact
though,
that
Krell, I would say. If you call in a friend who's like about equal as you are and you guys are able to take it down together, if you call someone like who's really good in gear and just,
this
that's
is like
one thing. But if
Who
you're
Wants to Be a
pulling in a
Millionaire?
friend, I don't think that's
But
a
I'm
big
playing the game for the satisfaction of the achievement of
Exactly.
conquering this difficult game. I want to be able to say I did it.
It's a
Not that I
personal
relied on
choice, but
someone
I'm
else.
saying these crybaby bitches who are suing are in no position to say I can't cheat. You guys are crying about it. So if you're already going to be a crybaby bitch, then just call in a friend and save us all time. Yeah. All right.
really.
So Elden Ring, that's awesome. I've seen you I watched you stream one night and I saw you take down like that fire boss or something. Like I forget which one it was, but you were.
Yeah, I streamed towards the end of the game. So Melania or whatever her name is, she's like one of the hardest bosses. So her and then the last boss.
I saw the progress.
You're playing on PC controller?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. So the other thing I wanted to talk about real quick was, if you remember the last time I was on, we were reviewing Diablo 4.
Yeah.
And, 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks, maybe 3, they started season 5. So they have a new feature now. It's called Infernal Hordes. And what it is, it's like you're in this room and you have to fight off waves of enemies. And after you clear a wave, there's 3 pillars that come up through the floor. And you get to choose which thing you want, and then that makes the next wave a little bit harder. So, for example,
like
one
a rogue?
pillar might be
This is like
kind
the
of
survivors mode, right? Vampire survivors
a
mode?
little bit, yeah. So, like one pillar might say, just throwing out random numbers, enemies do 25% more damage, but you move 25% faster. You know, so it's like that punishment reward type thing. And then after so many waves, you go into a boss room and you kill the boss, and then everything you kill, you get currency. And there's a chest that has gear in it, and then a chest that has materials like gems, whatever the crafting stuff is, and then a third one that you can just dump the remaining currency into gold. So it's kind of like you don't see how far you can get with the waves and what level you can get to. It's one of those things where it's like, if you're super into it, you're going to keep pushing and pushing. But I think after a couple times, it's like, okay, I get it. I'm good.
Yeah.
So,
that's a shame
I did hear a lot of people saying,
and I want to try it.
Yeah, I would say try it. It's definitely worth trying.
I'd like to play that again.
See.
I actually kind of enjoyed Diablo 4. I know
Well, you know what it
Michelle didn't
was?
like
When I first loaded it up, I felt like I had to relearn the game because they
Really?
did a lot of quality of life improvements to it, and things were changed around. So I would say check it out for at least a day or two. You'll probably notice a lot of it is the same stuff you remembered, but it's not bad. It's getting better. We did say when we reviewed it that it would get better over time.
Yes.
And it would take a couple years. And I think that's what we're seeing. We're on that path of it starting
But the
to
new
get
expansion
a little bit better
doesn't
than
look like it interests me. I'm sorry. I don't like the theme. I don't like the class. They're not really adding anything. Like, I want to go back to it at some point. The problem is when it came out, I did everything you could do in the game. Like literally everything. I beat the whole thing. And it's like, I don't want to do that again. Like, it's not good enough to be a seasonal game for me. Whereas with Path of Exile, I'll go back in. But do I recommend playing through Diablo once? Yes. But if they're doing interesting things with the seasons, that sounds cool. Can you get in fast and just level and do that mode? Do you have to get to max to do that mode, Krell? Like, when can you start interacting with the seasonal mechanics?
You don't have to get to max level.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff you can just jump right in. You can skip the campaign. So you can just go right to the usual stuff, the health tides, the nightmare dungeons, all that stuff that you're used to. Once you get into that next tier of world, you can get into it. So, yeah, it's worth checking out.
Okay, good. I'm glad they're making progress. I want the game to be good. Even though PoE 2 is coming in November, I'm excited. I still want Diablo 4 to be good. We all do, right? So, like you said, it may take even another year or two
I mean,
before it gets
I feel like I put a lot of time into that game, honestly, and I liked it, and then I just stopped, But I was playing that on my Steam Deck, too. God, I should play that in deck mode.
Okay. All right,
It's not beach mode ready, though.
No, it's not.
It's too dark. Way too dark.
All right, now speaking
Dungeon
of Blizzard,
crawlers are off the table.
Yeah.
And you know what, Michelle? I think I'm going to try to play WoW on my Steam Deck too. But go on.
No, please don't. Now, speaking of WoW, because Krell, I know this is why I definitely wanted to have you on, because you were like me. You've been playing WoW for years. You used to be a Mythic Raider. You're still doing like Mythic Pluses and all that stuff. So you're like me. We kind of know the game a bit. John's still, he's just John with WoW, right? Because John, you've played WoW for 20 years. You've subbed for 20 years.
I probably
but you haven't
played
really
WoW
played.
longer than both of you, but I've experienced
what?
less.
No, you haven't. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I did. What are
No,
you
you didn't.
talking about?
What? Krell. Okay.
It's on tape, so that's easy to figure
that's
out.
Great. John subs
If
to
you
WoW.
were there
but
for the
never,
original launch, then you did.
He's never leveled a character to max. He's only bumped, and he bumped again this time. So you bumped. Yeah, you did.
All right, go on.
He bumped. But so anyway, we're going to all talk about this from very different perspectives, right? Because we played at different. Like I said, John, your kind of review, like, what did you tell me before we got on? You said, like, I don't really know what's happening, and I didn't say
those words. I said,
tell everybody what you said so I don't get yelled at.
No, I said, I'll let you guys handle the little minute details because I don't know that shit. I'm just doing all the quests. So.
Okay. All right. So we're coming at this from more of a casual perspective versus Krell. You're getting ready to already gear up and heal mythics and all that stuff. So how do we want to tackle this? So the expansion is The War Within. It is the first of a WoW trilogy coming out to sort of wrap up, I believe, World of Warcraft in a way. Chris Metzen's back with the story. These are 3 smaller expansions that it was like one big expansion. They seem to have broken up into 3, I feel, from, there's a couple of different things that you can do with this expansion that are new, like delves and new features. War bands is a huge one. John, you were confused at what a war band was.
I do. Yeah, you share rep and stuff between a gaggle of characters that you can line up as like they're in a band on the home screen.
But so here's the thing: like when we get in, because let's talk about our first impressions with the game. And I know Krell,
do you care about the warband thing? By the way, sharing everything between a group of characters.
Yeah,
is that important
to
you?
It's your whole account. Yeah. It's your whole account. It's not just the 4 that you see on the character select screen.
Okay. Oh, so that's just vanity. I didn't know that. I thought it was just those ones. Like I had to pick the best ones.
No.
It's your whole account.
Would that be a good album cover though? That little photo on the.
No, because we all talked about this. How
album.
The UI looks like Windows 98, right? It's WoW.
Oh my God!
Its age with some of that.
All right, let's talk about that because I was bitching to you about this in the night one. Because I haven't played WoW in over a year, at least, and I came in with fresh eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't like. I don't know why. It seemed like it aged like 10 years in 1 year.
The login screen went backwards. I really think
it felt like it aged 10 years in 1 year. Like I was like, none of the cut screens were wide, ultra wide. The login screen was it always like that? Like I forgot. I'm like,
they messed up something. Oh,
is that true?
Yeah. It was like cutting off the warband menu was like cutting off certain characters, whatever. It just looked a little sloppy. But warbands, I think, is a good thing overall.
Did they change the cutscene character style, like the characters in the cutscenes?
Well, the models were changed years ago.
Okay, because it looks softer and more cartoony than I remember too. Yeah. But again, whatever.
So anyway, if you're returning to WoW, Warbands is a big feature, especially if you like alts, because everything's going to be shared. Like there's a shared bank and you can swap resources and gold between them, transmog, reputations. There's bonuses for but now other MMOs have had this for ages. I played the Star Wars MMO. They had this. Like this is nothing new. It's like Blizzard's so slow to put these things in that every other MMO has because it's an old game, but they never took the time to refresh into it. But dragon riding is everywhere now. There's guild updates that make them cross server, like class changes and all that stuff. But the winning thing for me that I like, and I want to kind of get your impression of like your favorite thing of the expansion for me, are the hero classes. Those are the new sort of sub specs within your class and your spec. So you can choose between 2 different ones per sub-spec of your class. So I'm a discipline priest, but I'm also, this other thing. Like, how do you guys feel with the presentation of that? Do you like getting that talent point every level again?
Yeah, it kind of feels a little bit like it used to be where you put in points, but it's such a small area. You only get, what is it, like the as many levels as you get. So it's not like it's
or something.
Yeah, it's not like it's, a big tree or whatever. You fill the whole thing in.
Yeah, there's no choice.
Do you
because
feel
there's
like
two little things.
I've only gotten like what 2-3 points in that thing. So is that making a huge difference towards the end with what you're getting from that talent tree?
Like I'm using one for PvP, another one for PvE.
But couldn't they just? I guess. Okay, so it's like a new. I was gonna say, couldn't they? Do we need a third talent tree in there, or couldn't it just be some? Yeah.
Most classes, right? Like your warlock. So now each one of your 3 has its own 2 they can choose from, but one of them is shared between each spec. So like affliction has 2 choices, but demonology will have one of those choices. And, So I don't know. Could it be better? Yes. Do I like to see talent trees back and more choice? Yes. That to me personally is what makes this game coming back to. I think this is the alt expansion. I think you level fast because it only took me a couple of hours to get from 70 to 80. Krell, I know you were the same. You level faster.
They're changing that tomorrow.
Well, I don't think they're going to make it easier so you can't spam dungeons, but you're still going to level as fast, right?
It seemed like they were talking about slowing it down.
Okay. I think it's
so
too
we'll
fast.
see how that changes.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. Like some people were max level in like 3 hours by just running dungeons. I did it in just like 2 days, which usually it would take me a week. So it's insane. Like it's really fast. I think they want it to be fast because they want you to level alts. They want you to fill up that warband and they want you to fool around with the different hero specs. And, you know, everything around here is being marketed toward the casual player. I saw an ad today on Reddit that said, it was sort of like the most uncool ad I've ever seen, but it sums up this expansion. Got 15 minutes. That's all it takes to play WoW with solo adventures and delve that fit your busy day. That's how they're pushing this. So everything you do in this game...
Explain what a delve is to everyone, too.
So a delve is like a rip-off version of a delve from many other games. You go into a cave, right, Krell? You're following... You have an NPC companion that's going to change every season that you can equip skills to, and you are doing different objectives in there while you're getting some roguelike abilities, I guess. It's like...
If you remember the scenarios from expansions in the past, it's like it's more than a mission or more than a quest, but less than a dungeon.
It's reskinned.
It's just like this little activity.
Yeah, less than a dungeon. It's like it's a light dungeon.
It's 15 minutes. Get in and out.
I just got home from work and I don't want to play a sweaty dungeon.
Or with a friend. Well,
These
that's
tryhards.
Dungeons now you can do with a group of NPC bots, so you don't have to even group for dungeons anymore.
I didn't
PvP,
like that because
PvP, John, you can do PvP against NPCs now too. I couldn't believe it when I got it.
Dumb.
It's so stupid.
It really is.
Like, why is this even an option? And I said it in the battleground. I said, why the hell are we like BGing against NPCs? This is so stupid. And all these people, and they were like, shut up, hater. I love this. I hate having to PvP against real people. This is great. I'm like, then why are you PvPing? Like, what is
Honestly, I have one good reason to defend the follower dungeons. Let's say you've never healed or tanked before, and you want to try it for the first time. Yeah. This is great. You can go in and try healing. You can try tanking.
All right,
you don't have to worry about pissing
It's like a tutorial or something in a way.
They want to make WoW solo player friendly. And look, that's not a bad thing if it's an option, but I feel like so much of this expansion, the effort was put into making this the solo casual expansion. And that's fine. If you want to make it the solo casual expansion, you've got to give people more things to actually do, more leveling going on. It's still the same cut and paste world quest, but this is like Dragonflight 2.0, right, Krell? There's not a daily checklist to worry about. You know, you have a lot of the same systems carried. But at the end of the day, it's going to be how fun are the dungeons and the raids. But I feel like if they're going to market towards the solo casual player, like I really think they are with this expansion, you know, especially with leveling all the alts, they have to just put more world in World of Warcraft. And I've been saying that for a while. We could fly from the beginning. How did you guys feel about that? Because I have my own sort of maybe unpopular opinion.
I don't mind it. I liked it. I was never a fan of the ground mounts because then you had the same problem where it's like, okay, well, now something is up on a high cliff. How do I get to that? Mm-hmm. Then you spent 10 minutes trying to find the path to get to it. I like the flying. I'm good with that.
That's part of the experience to me, though, is to be down on foot. And yes, I know you could do that if you wanted.
I remember like how exciting it was when I got my first flying mount. Like I was jizzing. Like I was like, I can't believe this. I've been down here. I've been riding around on a fucking lion like for fucking weeks. Now I can fly. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But the dragon. Okay. So I had a bunch of gifts from Blizzard from spending too much money every 6 months.
Yeah.
And one of them was a badass dragon, but the dragons are fast as fuck now. Am I wrong? Are they faster than the last?
That's the new flying.
It's awesome.
Not just the dragon. It's any mount that you have can do dragon.
Okay, well, I like it.
Certain abilities that you can.
The dragon flight, whatever they called it.
But the thing is, you can swap between both forms once you unlock classic flying, but you can't just AFK on the dragon flying style. So that's what's annoying about it. What I want them to do is combine them. Let me like have regular flying, but give me boosts and buttons I can click. I don't want to fall to the ground and have to worry about keeping all that up. I just think it's really sloppy, Krell. Like they tacked on this new way of flying, but then they still had the old one. Combine them. Let me fly if I want with an auto fly somewhere. Let me burst if I want. So they let you fly from the beginning. And here's my problem with it is that I feel like it impacted the level design too much, where there's not really a lot of wide open spaces. There's a lot of jagged mountains and there's a lot of deep caves. There's a lot of small
there's a lot
areas.
Of holes.
There's a lot of holes.
Yeah.
There's too much verticality. There's too much shit. People are calling it the cave expansion. They're like, I'm in these delves. Now every zone has a cave. Remember, John, the starting area in the Torin Mulgore area, running around on foot in that big wide open grassy field. Can you tell me one time when you felt that in this expansion? You are not. Yeah, and that magic is gone. And just giving everybody a flyer where you're just going from point A to point B, I just feel like you're not getting that true WoW experience.
Honestly, I'd love to go back to Classic and just start a Torrent again.
I feel like I would too.
Well, you can. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can. That's the thing. So
I already did. I did it a couple years ago when they came out with it.
Yeah, people have been saying that. Like, there's kind of two teams. Like, people are like, I don't think WoW is for me anymore. Like, because I liked Classic, I like BC, I like Wrath of the Lich King, and ever since then, it's kind of fallen off. Well, you can still get that experience if you don't know. Like, even if you win this key we're giving away, like, you can go play WoW Classic and all the older expansions and get that old style. But this is a whole new way of doing WoW, and this is the first time. I mean, Dragonflight a little bit, Krell. Don't you think this is really? They're really showing that they are pushing for the casual solo player here.
Oh, definitely. Okay. Yeah, they want to make it more friendly to people that can just jump right in.
All right, here's a big question.
Yes.
When does Phil get involved? Bring this shit to the Xbox.
I can't.
He might have already been involved.
Oh, no.
Why? Why do you say that, Phil? I mean, Phil.
Phil. Hey, John, let me tell you why.
Hey, what's up, man? Why? What do you mean I was involved already?
They've dumbed the game down so much. While you're leveling, you use like 3 buttons. Everything's easy. They could put this on Xbox.
Well, that's what I told you because you kept saying, "Go to your spell book." I'm like, I'm not dying. I'm not even. I don't care.
Right, but but that's a problem.
You had 5 mounts on your action bar, though.
Yeah,
I know, but my action bar was fine. I was killing.
Right, but that's the point. Like you were missing half the bars in your spell. You didn't know or care because the game is shit and made for people with no brain now. I'm sorry. I don't think it's a good thing. Like it's for casual
I don't know if I was
people.
missing any spells to be honest, but it was definitely easy what I've played so far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're not even thinking at all. You're going brainlessly from point A to point B.
But in some weird way,
you like it.
I do because I like games where I can check out, and WoW always was a game where I checked out. You know, I'd come down here, put the TV on, and just veg out in that world. You know, and I was trying to get myself in that mood. I kept telling you, like I ordered pizza, and I really enjoyed it. You know, so like I'll probably play after this show. Actually, I'm thinking about it.
You were playing pretty late too.
Yeah, I did. I ordered Domino's pizza, and I was having fun. It was like the good old days, you know?
Yeah.
And
so I've talked about the negatives for me, but yeah, let's talk about the positives here. Okay. Yeah. Because I've been playing WoW long enough, and so have you, Crow, where we're comfortable with like being fair with the game. There are some people that will never say one bad thing about WoW. I don't understand them, but they don't critique the game. So, you know, those are some of the critiques. But on the plus side, John, like you told me, you're like, there's a magic to this. I ordered a pizza. I'm having fun. I'm vegging out. I'm leveling. Like, this is awesome, right?
I know. I like the game loop. And you said something to me, and I actually got me worried. You're like, this might be the last time. 20 years
I said, how
of this
many
shit.
more WoW expansions are going
you got
on?
me really thinking, because as I see the game, it's clearly aged. It can't, you know, like I tried getting Matt McCarthy to play this game, and he couldn't fucking handle the graphics, and he's like, what is this old shit? Now imagine some fucking 22-year-old launching this game. Right. So I think this game does have like a shelf life, and they don't seem to be modernizing the game. If it was really
dying, then they just make it free. They're collecting a lot of $15 a month.
I know. Because there's a lot of whatever people that have been playing it since the beginning, and they're just, it's Stockholm Syndrome or whatever the fuck it is. Like, it's just like...
there is Stockholm Syndrome, I agree. Yeah. But to be fair, World of Warcraft is still a great game overall, and it's still a game that's been around for 20 years that should be respected, and like you said, I think everybody should play. Like, like these graphics look kind of bad, but some look worse. I play new games where the graphics look worse. Like, I want to defend it in that sense. Like, there are worse things you could be playing and doing. There is still a magic to WoW. There is something special about it. The combat. But there's a lot of like untapped potential. And I think that's what frustrates people who have been playing the game for so long. Like, we saw like the trajectory of where they took it. They're going into this but they're trying to modernize it, John. You're saying they're not modernizing it. They are, because they're making it solo friendly, casual friendly. You don't even have to group with people. Don't be scared to talk. You know, you can just go with AI and just kill NPCs and PvP. Like, they're letting everybody do everything alone.
Right.
Pretty much. And so, you know, that I don't like that direction, but
that's going to kill the raids. I mean, are
no,
raids
people that'll all be fine.
You'll be able to do raids with bots too.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Yep. That's actually in this expansion. They're going to do raids with bots.
That's so silly. But I mean, people were doing Raid Finder anyway, Krell, which was just brainless, you know, so they've already been kind of doing that for a while. I mean, I don't like to see that. But the problem is I've already done everything you can do. And so I did the early access. I paid the $90. I know we all did. And we got in early, but there was half the things we couldn't do. You know, I farmed all my honor. The PvP vendors weren't there yet. Why did we pay early to get in when all we did was we got to max level when the game came out? And so it's like, I've already done everything I can do. I've seen every dungeon. I've done the delves. I already have full PvP gear till Conquest comes out. Like, I've already they want me to go to another character, right, Krell? Isn't that what you feel like? You kind of do it fast and go to an alt?
Yeah, play everything now because it's easy to level alt. So that's what we want you doing. Just play it all.
So if you're listening to this and you're like a casual player who loves alts, like, now's your time to come back to WoW. Those people are going to get the most out of it. So tell us about your
that complaint experience. Too. Like, real quick, like, you know, people would say, "Oh, you know, I kind of want to try WoW, but at the same time, I don't want to really dedicate the time." It took like 2 days to get.
There's no time
level.
In this. No,
there's just like
yeah.
It's so quick.
Look at the way they're marketing it. Like I said, to me, that is the most uncool marketing. Hey, do you have 15 minutes at the end of your busy day? Come play WoW. Like, that is like the antithesis of what you want in marketing an MMO to me in my head, because I'm an old school MMO player.
I know, but they're competing with Fortnite.
Right. So they're competing with people who want to sit down and play WoW for 15 minutes a day.
Right.
And
it's like, I'll just play a game of Fall Guys.
Yeah, look at Jedi. It says solo friendly, casual friendly, AI companions. I like what I'm hearing. Jedi, I could picture you loving WoW, getting in there, loving the hunter, going and collecting pets for sure. But yeah, I like once again, kind of like you said, it's still good, but is it for us anymore? And I know, Krell, you've been playing with your friends and stuff. Tell me about like your impressions leveling. Because John talked about his experience with the pizza. What did you do? And did you love the story? There's a lot of people with one eyes. There's people with one arms. The story's shit still, right? Like, what are your impressions as a WoW player?
My favorite part of this expansion has been the jokes that you and I have been making in Discord, just cracking each other up. Like, yeah, just the one-eyed, one-armed woman. The different things we're seeing that look janky. But for me, it's really the fun is hanging out with friends, doing dungeons, doing raids. I don't care about the story. Mm-hmm. I just like hanging out with friends and accomplishing a goal. Like, some of those Mythic Plus dungeons and raids, they can be a challenge. They can be like that Dark Souls type challenge on the hardest difficulties. But like, that's the goal, is like you enjoy that satisfaction of, we finally did this. Mm-hmm. You know, we do Mythic Plus dungeons. All right, we just cleared that key on the timer. You know,
push
all right,
the key.
let's go for the next
one.
Yeah, keep pushing and see how far we can go. That Mythic Plus
dungeon loop is awesome. Like, they have something there. It's fun, but it's not for everybody. But I really did I did that with my friends too, and that was fun too. But like you said, that's always going to be good in WoW. The dungeons, the raids are probably always going to be fun. They do great encounter designs. Not the best in the business, but they're still good. And so, like you say, you don't really care about the leveling experience.
Yeah, I kind of just breeze through. Okay, accept quests. What do I got to do? Oh, go click on that thing. Okay, good. And that's why I noticed too, the quests were really lazy. This expansion, it's like, oh, go over 10 feet away and click on that thing and bring it back. Yeah. Oh, okay, thanks. Now go click on that thing.
That glowing thing that's 3 feet away.
Yeah.
Oh, go talk to those people for me. But it's like, whoa, listen, I'm this champion of the world. Why are you making me go pick berries off bushes?
Yes,
I send a lackey to do it for me.
But it is that whole Pavlov dog, whatever kind of just game loop of that game,
but it doesn't
though, right?
feel epic to me, because I used to do quests outside of a castle for the fucking servant of the king. Okay, now I'm working for a hippie commune of Colbloids, collecting trash, or I'm putting up propaganda flyers. Like, the things they have me doing don't feel as good and epic. And stop calling me champion. And if I hear that dude say fucking Azeroth's wounds one more time, like, I just feel like whoever's designing these quests, like, you've gotta. You can do better than just go there and click on 5 dead bodies. That's not compelling gameplay.
And even the simple quests in the beginning were harder, like in the back in the day, like, because everyone was farming the same fucking skins or bones or whatever.
When you got that wolf meat, you were like, yes. The wolves
Yeah,
so
like, and then you'd realize there's no fucking wolves anymore. Where are they all? Like, and you guys sit
Stand
there
around for 5 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like, 10 minutes later, there's another wolf.
But I'm just like, what do I do with myself now? Like, I already got my, like, I don't know. Unless, because my friends all kind of quit. They're not playing.
Auction
I'm like,
house.
Yeah, you could do that. But the thing is, like I said, what they nailed for me, what I think is the best thing is I kind of, you know what? I've never really played a mage. And I'm like, hey, I wonder what a frost mage sub-spec for arcane feels like. You know, I'm starting to think about trying different classes and characters and combinations. Or I'm like, hey, wait a minute. The hunters have a Dark Ranger spec, which is like magic mixed with hunter. Like, what does that feel like? So I really want them to put some of this complexity back into the game. And the nice thing with the new trees, Krell, I'm sure you've noticed, you can just swap easily. Like, you just take the points in and out, move them around. You have freedom to play around with your character builds, which I think they need more of. So, like,
I was kind of worried that would be set in stone, and I'm glad that you can just swap them anytime.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you're going to make a casual game like WoW is now, like, I'm kind of glad that they let us just swap things around, have fun, fool around. Like, I kind of want to take a look. Now, John, I know you're playing your Warlock, but I kind of want to go on my Warlock now and just be like, hey, what does Affliction feel like when you mix it with Destruction? How does that work out, you know, with this new kind of sub thing they have going on? So, I mean, overall, I don't think it's the best expansion. I don't think it's the worst. It might be one for if you've never touched WoW and it always scared you. I mean, like, newbie friendly? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you?
Yeah, it's now's the time to jump in if you just want to try the game.
So
it's at its easiest.
Let me ask you an honest question. So, okay, say I never played WoW before. I buy the expansion for $50.
I think it's 40. Maybe
okay. What level am I?
They're going to give you a boost if you buy.
I'm not level 1, right?
You can start out at level 1, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I started at level 1, would I be in all the classic areas?
You can
classic
choose.
is a separate launcher. That's
No, I know,
different
but those areas still exist in the world, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, like they have a thing where you can go and choose which expansion you want to level in. So it's not like you did it the old way where you have to start in the old world and go to Burning Crusade. You can just go in whatever order you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like Boom says, you only have to sub for a month, 4 days, and he's finished. That's where I was at. Like, in 4 days, I'd already done everything I could do. Now that's going to change. Like you say, when the seasons go live and the raids come out and all that, there's more stuff coming.
Right.
But this isn't a game that you have to, like, 1 month could be enough.
All right, so what is there? Okay. You know, you're kind of advocating for new people to play. So let's answer that. Let's answer that question, though. What do you recommend that they do? Krell, chime in too. So never played WoW. What do? They buy the expansion and then what?
Do not boost to 70 if you bought a boost. You have to start from level 1.
Do the leveling.
Do the level.
Start at level 1. Start at level 1 for real.
Yes.
Yeah, you learn that way. You because they just give you like one spell at a time. So you kind of get those breadcrumbs. You can learn as you go. If you just boost a character to the max level,
it's going to be overwhelming.
It's too overwhelming. You're not going to know what to do.
Fun.
And you're going to start getting into reading websites of like, okay, well, what do these things do?
So that level one, like, just being naive and not knowing what this game is pretty magical, honestly. Like, that is one of my favorite times in gaming.
It's less magical now, though. It's not have
it's
you
leveled
level 1 in this
I used to lay in bed reading those fucking books.
Yeah, but that was for classic. I'm saying it's different. Like classic BC leveling, even Wrath or Pandaria, like it's changed so much in recent years leveling from level 1. They actually give you like a mount early. They actually give you a bunch of spells early, let you pick a spec. It's different. But a new player, if you're listening to this, which the majority of the people listening, I mean, we've got a lot of old school WoW players, but they don't want to, they haven't come back to the game. A lot of them walked away probably 10 years ago, you know, and it's like, who would I tell to come back to this expansion? I'd say a casual person who wants to level alt, who wants to fool around the warband, unless you're coming in with friends. If you've got friends that are coming back to the game, if like 2 or 3 or 4 of you want to come in, you could probably have a lot of fun with these like new things that they've added through the years. Like Mythic Plus Dungeons, my favorite addition to WoW, I think, in the recent years.
That really is the best part. Just hanging out with friends and joking around and doing dungeons and stuff. It's a blast doing that.
It is. I've made many friends and many good memories. So yeah, check out World of Warcraft, The War Within. You know, not all bad, not all good. I think it's just, we are all a bit worried. I think that, and maybe Krell, you said you're kind of ready for it to happen, that maybe there's going to be this one, then 2 more after. Then what happens? Are we ready for WoW 2? What's going to happen with WoW? Like, I feel like they're winding down.
Well, we saw it with the private servers. The private server people have made a WoW version in Unreal 5. So
yeah,
maybe that's the next evolution. Who knows?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready for you guys to just give us, after these, 2 more, just give us a new WoW to play. Give us that WoW 2.0, because I think, like you said, the look of it's keeping people away. But
it's too much of a beast at this point.
It's
right?
not though, because it's not anymore though. They've made everything fast.
Just level
Leveling
the whole
is
thing.
fast.
Just pretend it never existed. Just go back to just start over, like it's classic day one.
I mean, I would tell a person to go start a classic, sure, but I don't think the average player is going to like that now.
No, what I'm saying is they should just start over as if they're making a new class, like how classic started. I'm saying, go back to that small team mentality, whatever.
Well, the talent's gone. I would say
creating
do what
new
Path
magic.
of Exile's doing. You keep WoW 1 going, like they're doing with Path of Exile 1, and you go in a new direction with WoW 2, and you rebuild from the start, but they have shared things when you can. Shared whatever, shared mounts or shared this or that, just like they're doing at Grinding Gear. You can't kill off WoW. You have to keep that going. Just like it'll probably be another server. Just like now you can go and play classic servers, you can play whatever. There'll probably be like WoW 2 servers come online and it's a whole new game from the beginning. They have to do a reset at some point.
Phil will save it.
Do you think Phil will? Oh my God.
Phil's going to come in and save it.
Yeah. So
I really think that they should put that shit on Xbox. Put it on Game Pass.
Do Xbox gamers want MMOs like this? I mean, I know.
I don't know. Put it on there. Why not?
It's possible, because I'll tell you what, one of the guys that we play with, he tanks for us. He tanks with a controller.
That's
he actually
crazy.
plays with a controller, and he's a good tank. So if he can do it, then it's definitely possible. They probably could port this to Xbox.
But see, what concerns me about that is then they dumb down the talents even more, where it's only like a 5 button to play. And I don't want that. I want to have my 100 buttons on the screen. And if you're going to, that's what made Diablo so dumbed down. They needed it to be console and controller friendly. And I think that I don't know. We'll see what happens, because Path of Exile 2 is very controller friendly now, and there's supposed to be less bells. So it does shape the gameplay, Krell. That's my concern with putting it on console and the controller. Yeah. But if there's a WoW 2, there is no question that Phil is going to put it on Xbox. If there's a WoW 2. I think so. All right. Well, we'll move on. I know some of you guys hate WoW stuff, but if you're curious about the game, come to our Discord on videogameoutsiders.com, giving away a copy of The War Within. Not a lot of WoW players in there. You can probably win. So enter, probably pick it in about a week. And thank you for joining us, Krell. I think we covered it.
Krell.
Very, I don't know.
We wowed it up.
We kind of fair. We were kind of fair. Was I too harsh? Yeah, we've got a voicemail and some news.
All right, let's do a quick voicemail. If you guys want to send voicemails, 520-FEEL-VGO. Tiger?
I think the Steam Deck and Switch has proved that there is a hole in the market, but it's that us couch people want higher end stuff. I would love to get into PC gaming, but it puts me on a monitor. But the Steam Deck has proven that it's now time for the Steam box again. Sell me a high-end PC, and I know I give up the frame rate on my TV, but give me a better box, and give me a high-end Xbox, a $1,000 Xbox that just runs better stuff. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I've been saying this all along.
Yeah. We're hearing this from people. They just want something that works, a console style thing, but they want to have the PC options to get on Steam. They want to have the graphics of Steam. They're just not happy with the living room consoles how they are.
No, because the Steam Deck works great docked in the living room, but it's underpowered for real games on 4K TV, right? It's good for Vampire Survivors, that kind of shit. But there is a lot of these. I think if Microsoft gets that new Windows mode down, like a controller mode, I think that could open the floodgates for a lot of these devices.
I mean, I agree with the chatters. They're saying just plug your PC into the living room TV, and you can. I know, but just grab a controller with Steam Big Picture
still a problem
mode.
though. I know, but
buy a pre-built.
It needs to be controller only. It goes in an entertainment center, and I don't want to see a mouse or keyboard anywhere.
Well, then you're limiting half the games you can play. But no, I know what you're saying. But couldn't somebody do that?
I get the sense that keyboard and mouse. Obviously, we don't feel this way. I mean, I've been gaming since day one, but I think the younger generation is a little adverse to keyboard and mouse. Like, I think that's going to fade away.
The growth of PC gaming doesn't say that. But I think what I would say is, you tell me the downside. If somebody went and bought a pre-built PC or even a laptop and they plugged it into their living room television, they grabbed a controller, they launched Steam Big Picture mode, they played with the controller games they wanted to play, like God of War or, the Starfield, how are they not having a better experience, like why can't they just do that? You know, a pre-made, pre-packaged thing is really
I
just
understand.
a laptop or a
and the thing
PC.
is, like with an Xbox controller, you can make it so that if you double press the Xbox button, it'll launch Steam Big Picture automatically.
Yeah.
So there is a way. What I'm thinking though, Michelle, is like the idea of having a PC with a mouse and keyboard somewhere in the living room, and then there's always going to be a problem. I'm gonna have to get up, find the mouse, find the keyboard, right click on this, click on that.
I do it in my bedroom, and I have a little
Yeah, I do too.
mouse,
Like
keyboard
when I
thing.
want,
It's like
I do too.
combo. It's just a little trackpad with a keyboard.
Right.
Bluetooth.
And I'll pull that out when I need to get under the hood on the Steam Deck in the living room, because I've done that many times where I just sit on my couch and I'm navigating, the OS to do things. But most of the time I don't want that. I just want it to behave like a console, So I think Microsoft could fix that.
They could.
Is what I'm saying.
If their handheld device gets more powerful when docked in the living room, because this guy wants $1,000 one. He wants better graphics. So how are you going to do that with a mobile chip? It's going to have to dock into a external GPU.
Yeah, I suppose.
So I don't know. People are going to have to just come to the PC world. So let's talk about the Nintendo thing that went on, because a lot
it was
of that
an indie direct.
A lot
right?
of it's not just Nintendo though, because these games are already out on Steam, including the Castlevania Dominus collection. Sea of Stars is getting free DLC.
Yeah.
I saw Tetris Forever. And what's the other Tetris game?
The Tetris thing is actually kind of interesting because it's one of those like treatment releases with like a documentary and the story of Tetris and all this shit. Like that actually might be kind of cool.
Tetris Forever and NES Tetris launch on the Switch as well as on Steam. Capcom Fighting Collection was another thing for Steam. And that's what I wanted to ask you. These things I'm seeing, they're Steam and Switch. Are they skipping Xbox and PlayStation?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think... Microsoft does this too. They'll have an events and then they're showing a game and you're like, oh, but it's also on PS5. Why are you behaving like...
That's what I'm saying. This Nintendo thing was kind of...
The Tetris Forever thing, it's going to be 15 versions of Tetris together. It's on PS5, PS4. It's a retro collection of shit. It's an anniversary edition. And then there's some kind of a documentary style feature within it. But the one thing was the Blatro thing I thought was really interesting. Again, not unique to Nintendo.
Yeah.
So the Blatro is doing cross promotion with like The Witcher, Among Us, what other
Dave
IPs?
the Diver. So there's basically an art kit going on for Blatro, which is a poker roguelike game we talked about that we like.
There's cards. There's card decks like Witcher themed, and I think that's kind of cool. What did you think about Krell, the Shrek Power Wash Simulator?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Are you serious? Oh, well, you like that game. Well, you like that game though.
I do. Oddly enough, I play all of the DLCs, even the SpongeBob one. I never cared about SpongeBob, but I was like, hey, it's something to clean. Why not? Give me the DLC. I'll play it. So I will definitely get the Shrek DLC day one. I love it.
Yeah, and then
the
Michelle, I was wondering what you thought about My Sims.
I don't know what that is.
It's like an Animal Crossing style Sims game.
Well, I was looking at that Izu game. I forget what it's called. There's like a new Sims game that the character creator came out. It looks insane. It's supposed to kill the Sims. I don't know what My Sims is.
It's called My Sims Cozy Bundle.
It's for the Nintendo DS, Microsoft BlackBerry, Windows Phone. My Sims.
It's a cult classic, and it's basically EA's answer to Animal Crossing.
Looks like shit.
Coming on November 19th.
Is it coming to Steam?
I don't know.
Am I emulating this? I don't know. You have to tell me.
Is it just a Switch thing?
It might be mobile as well. It was on the phone in the past.
It is a Nintendo Switch thing.
Okay.
I'm on their official site, and if you press pre-order, it goes right to Nintendo's website.
Okay. I'll have to look into that. We'll see. And you're going to be playing Call of Duty, the beta that you're going to talk about next week.
I know.
That's going to be a big show. Yeah, so you'll be playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, so Phil is giving us Call of Duty on the 30th.
Yeah.
And I already preloaded that shit. Now, I am really interested to see how this goes down with the Xbox app, because on the PC.
Yep. It's going to be interesting.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because I don't know if Call of Duty can do any wrong for you, though, John. I'm sure no matter what, you'll be like, it's the best, it's the greatest. I just feel like you're not fair with it, John. You kind of have a...
What are you talking about?
Little Call of Duty bias for Phil.
Oh, Wobbly Life is coming to the Switch. Remember I talked about Wobbly Life?
Yeah.
Because I am a tastemaker.
Of course. I saw this. Journey to the Savage Planet developer shit talks Google, saying they only wanted monstrous games with major licenses for Stadia. They were very strange, he said, and he believes they failed because they didn't have an interest in game development or indie developers, and they just wanted, like, you know, the GTAs to land there or something. So people shit talking Google right now on that, but RIP Stadia. Oh, Tiger says, what do you guys think of the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 trailer? It was released this morning. I didn't watch. Did you guys watch?
No, is that the movie you mean?
Yeah. I mean, the first movie wasn't that bad. Jim Carrey was pretty good in it.
Really?
I have to say. I didn't watch. I wouldn't watch all of it.
I was surprised. I wanted to hate the movies, but they were actually kind of decent.
Yeah.
Really?
I was with you. Yeah. Like,
I haven't seen any of them.
The performance was actually pretty good from Jim Carrey. Yeah. Look, I grew up playing Sonic. Okay, so I wanted to check them out. I
did see the Mario movie, though.
Yeah. No, not so good.
No, it was good.
It was okay. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
What's the Steam Deck news, John? I saw you wanted to talk about a new feature for Steam Deck. Oh, we can see customer reviews, right?
Oh, yeah. So on Steam, if you played the game mostly on the Steam Deck, your review will say so on Steam.
Good. So we can know if it's like good on Steam Deck.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
So
because Steam doesn't always the games don't always have the Steam Deck verified badge, like sometimes for the first couple of weeks, you know. So sometimes I'm really guessing if it's even going to work,
right?
You know. So this will be good to see, you know.
Yeah. So you don't always have to do the 2-hour returns. Now, I mentioned this before, like during this show, but it was in the news that, I mean, a lot of people were talking about the fact that, you know, Xbox's Obsidian, Avowed, the game that I think a lot of people were looking forward to. I started to have concerns about how I saw it look, and the developers just started to make some weird statements about why it's going to be probably 30 FPS locked on the Xbox. They said because it's a first-person single-player game, you don't need 68 frames. I just wish they wouldn't make statements like that.
No, that's
and
a
they
dumb
said
statement.
that they had to keep it at 30 to make the graphics look good.
This is why we have performance and visual options.
Yes. I just thought it sounded
even Star
deaf.
Wars has that option.
Right.
That's and what they patch it later anyway.
Right. They show you it can be done. They just aren't doing it. They said performance is the last thing they look at.
Listen, devs, TVs are going to 100 hertz, 120 hertz now. We're going backwards. What are you doing?
Yeah, don't make excuses. Don't go, you don't need the 60 because it's a first-person game. Like, what are you talking about?
But that's not the direction the world's going. My fucking monitor next to me is 180 hertz. I mean, like 20, 30 frames that would be like stupid on that. Like... And TVs are 120.
This is the thing where, you know, CC Games will say the average customer of his doesn't know or care if it's 30 or 60.
I think that's probably accurate,
but,
honestly.
You know, I feel like console gamers kind of do now because of that performance mode. Like, they know it in Wukong whether I'm playing at 30 or 60 if they're playing on their PS5. Like, you can tell. And that game looks pretty good on the PS5. Like, if they can pull it off, how are you not pulling it off, Avowed? That's what I just don't get. So, yeah, it was weird, just their comments that they were trying to sort of say you don't need it. Creative choice, right? That's sort of the answer, which I thought was silly. And then we talked about how bad Concord was bombing. I mean, John, do you think Sony is dead after this?
Oh, Sony's dead.
Here's the thing with this game too.
They're just not a topic right now. I feel like the last couple months. Am I stupid or ignorant saying that, Krell?
Well, they got Wukong and
comment.
Xbox didn't. So...
Oh, really? I am stupid and ignorant?
No, I mean, the thing here is if you're a console person, the PlayStation's looking a bit better for many reasons because they're getting games that aren't going to Xbox. Now, if you're a Game Pass person, the Xbox is looking better, right? I think Game Pass is the difference here. But the thing with the Concord developers is not only were they tweeting weird shit like they hate white people, they also came out, one of them said that anybody who doesn't like the game is a talentless freak.
Well, a person that worked there said that. Let's be clear.
I said a
Concord
developer.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Concord didn't. Concord's the video game. A developer of Concord. What did I say wrong?
Nothing. But
okay.
I saw this. Yes, I'm aware.
Right, so it's just not a good look. What happened over there, Sony? It took 8 years to make this. 8 years.
What's so funny to me too? Overwatch came out 8 years ago. So what does that tell you? they literally started working on this game 8 years ago when they played Overwatch and said, fuck, we got to make an Overwatch game.
I forget. Somebody said it was like 50 million, 100 million. I forget what it was. It was an insane amount of money. 8 years, 200 million. 200 million. So. Like Sony, you got to have like a better, whoever's making decisions there, you couldn't look at this and see this was shit and nobody wanted to play this. Like this is a big fuck up. $200 million in 8 years.
Think about this. 8 years. $200 million.
Yes, they're banking on this.
And right now, there's probably 200 people playing this fucking game.
I saw a funny list. Games that had more concurrent players than Concord.
Yeah, like Hitler.
Sex with Hitler was on there. A Gollum Lord of the Rings game that we reviewed that was shit. Like,
how's Banana Game doing?
Oh, Banana Game, forget that. It's got hundreds of thousands. But yeah, this was a total failure, and it doesn't look good for Sony, but they're going to be fine, you know. But I hope they learn their lesson with shit like this, you know.
Now, we should be clear, though. These numbers are Steam, not PS5.
Oh, PS5 is not doing well either.
Yeah, I know. But I'm sure Sony's not reporting those numbers, though. So, because right now, as of yesterday or 12 hours ago, they had 96 players on PC.
Oh, my God.
Think about that.
It's so bad. I could make a game right now in a day that would get more players than that. That is sad. And that's a big blunder for Sony. And you thought they got cocky with Helldivers.
I do. I think Helldivers kind of made them believe that they can charge for these style games.
How, though? Because this game was 8 years in the making and it was $200 million. Sure, it was always planned to cost money.
Well, 8 years ago, though, things were probably different, though. I'm sure a discussion happened in the last year. They're like, okay, what are we doing? Are we going to go free to play? You know, everything's free to play now. When we started, it wasn't. What are we going to do? Well, you know, Helldivers is printing money right now. We probably should just stick with that model. You know, at some point, you know, there was a conversation about free to play. No doubt about it.
It's happening now, if it hasn't, because it's got to go free to play. They've got to sell cosmetics to make the characters look less like shit. And they've got to make the game not so slow and clunky. People say it's not fun. Forget how bad everything looks and how woke it is. And them saying they hate white people. Forget all that shit. The game just sucks. I have not talked to one person who's played that's had to. Nobody likes it. Nobody says it's fun.
No, it's not. I did the beta on the PS5 and I'm like, nope.
Yeah. so, you know, whether it's free, are you going to play a non-fun game?
No, even if it was free, I wouldn't play it. Like, it's just, there's too many games. There's too many shooters. I don't need that. It's a dumb game. It's just done.
Sony's dead? I'm just kidding.
Sony's most definitely dead.
No, they're not dead.
Everything's dead.
Everything is dead. Ubisoft is dead. Xbox is dead. WoW is dead. Blizzard's dead. No, I'm telling you, like you guys told me a couple shows ago, I had an Asian fetish. It's not my fault that all of the good games coming out are made by Asian developers right now. Like, they're just making higher quality games. I think when the end of the year comes out and people take a look back, like a lot of the games of the year, I think Wukong's going to end up on some game of the year lists. And I think we're going to be seeing that, like, what we're making here just doesn't hold up.
Harry Potter was great last year. So I think it's just...
Harry Potter was good, but it's not like...
Yeah, it was game of the year for a lot of people.
Sure, but I'm talking about this year and the quality going down. And Harry Potter 2, we know, is going down. They already said it's going to be a live service game, and they're... So you tell me what developers that aren't based in... that, like, you have faith in now. What are your favorite developers, John?
Infinity Ward.
Okay.
I like Activision still.
No Call of Duty stuff. Let's just, I mean, outside of that, what new IPs, what new games? Like, I think we have some talent left at Sony Santa Monica and things like that. But overall, like, what are the companies that you had faith in that you don't anymore? You know, I think we're kind of losing.
I mean, Ubisoft.
Ubisoft is the biggest disappointment, especially for me. Yeah. I know. I just feel like they were my favorite, and now they're the worst. And really, I loved them because of all the Tom Clancy shit that they just fucking destroyed. So
but they're gone forever, and they're not coming back. Ubisoft.
Who, the people that made those games too?
Rainbow Six Siege has a new operator in a wheelchair. John, we did this prediction 10 years ago with the Gamersons.
As a
joke, we said the next Overwatch character, Roller, was in a wheelchair. We made it a cartoon. It's now happening. That's what they care about now.
It's like, what?
What is happening out there? We've got no eyes, no arms. We've got potato faces in Star Wars. This is where we're at. But all right, we're going to get out of here. We've talked long.
We've said it all.
We've said it all. There's nothing left to say. So remember, we have 2 giveaways going on in our Discord. John's Hot Juice. That's right. You
That's
can win
right.
hot sauce in our Discord.
No, stop saying that.
I just want to clarify it.
It's
what
hot
it is.
juice.
Okay,
It is not
John's hot bottled juice. He will send it to you. He'll also
It is not
probably,
sauce. It is juice.
Okay. He'll give you his juice. That's bottled bath water. It's red. Be careful. I don't know what he bathed in. So that's going on, as well as a World of Warcraft The War Within expansion that gives you all of that stuff, including playing WoW Classic, I believe, if you want to try that, if you're crazy, you've never played before. And in our Discord, check the pins, click the emoji. Thank you, Carl, for joining us. Come say hi to him. He helps us out as a mod. He's hanging around in there. What else? Next week, COD, more Star Wars. It's going to be fun. Matt will be back.
Yeah.
We'll check in with him.
Next week, I Phil is coming through in 3 days, so I can't wait.
He's doing it again.
So, all right, guys, listen, thanks for listening, subbing, all that shit. Go to twitch.tv/John and Michelle if you have Amazon Prime. Be sure to sub to us there. If you listen live, you can also look at the stream from the last week and all that shit. So anyway, all right, we'll see you very soon. Video Game Outsiders out. It's late at night, and I'm watching an old E3 presentation. Man, he's cool. I bet she has a comb in his back pocket. His hair is perfect. His jacket fits him so well. I bet he was homecoming king. I don't want to Netflix and chill. All I need is my Xbox and Phil. I don't need any drugs or pills. All I need is my Xbox and Phil. Xbox and Phil. Xbox and Phil. My Xbox and Phil. Xbox and Phil. Xbox and Phil. My Xbox and Phil. You know, Phil, I really do think you are the best video game leader. I know you won't ever steer me wrong. Game Pass, play anywhere, cross progression, and that xCloud, I know it's gonna be great because you're behind it. Phil, I really do think you are the one. I don't want to Netflix and chill. All I need is my Xbox and Phil. I don't need any drugs or pills. All I need is my Xbox and Phil. Xbox and Phil. Xbox and Phil. My Xbox and Phil. Xbox and Phil. Xbox and Phil. My Xbox and Phil. Xbox and Phil. Xbox and Phil.